Hello, 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 everybody! Welcome back once again to the Divinity walkthrough. Alright, so the last video there, we met the Goblin Vendor, and I don't remember his name. Cadricaz or Cadrosaz or some crazy business like that. I am going to continue on here, and this... So, again, this is completely optional, and we're really not supposed to be here yet. And, yeah, I'm just going to invis past this one group of enemies here. The spiders right there are pretty brutal, and I don't have any fancy, immaculate bodyguards to protect me this time, so we're just going to sneak around here. And then the reason for doing this is actually to gain even more merchants to be able to visit. So here I was trying to be careful because I thought there was like a really big fight here. I might be in the wrong spot though. This actually kind of doesn't look like the right spot, so I was probably fine, but I decided to wait here just in case and save, because saving's always a good idea. So the one thing, though, I want to mention right now, I forgot to follow the goblin back to town. And if you just kind of let him be and you don't actually kind of escort him back to town, I don't think you'll see him in town. So, like I said, you actually have to kind of walk with him a bit before he'll actually go into town. So, again, you know, if this is something that you're doing too, then make sure you do that. So here is the Goblin Village, and I'm actually going to enter here in a minute with my group. You have to be really careful with this place, and it's got a goofy bug that I think it's a bug anyway, or just bad, maybe it's just bad programming or an error. And I guess it's, I mean, to be honest, it's pretty minor, but it's annoying. So I'll show you that here in a second, but we're gonna walk in.
Stand back, pigskin. You are not welcome on our
allowed on our hallowed grounds. Oh my, okay. Alright.
So am I. You perceive things clearly, human. The great spirit totem will want to speak with you. He'll decide your final fate. Until you do, you are forbidden to leave our tribe's seat.
Okay, so be careful if you do walk in here and initiate this dialogue, because you will not be able to leave until you either speak with the totem or speak with the shaman. And I'm going to speak with the shaman here in a second, but I wanted to show you the goblin totem and the options here. And this is where I was talking about. I think there's a bug here.
The two of one. The torn of time. Oh, I know all about you. Clueless outcast, more than you know yourself. Among these faithful minions of mine, you may stay unharmed. You may leave unmolested, but only if you indulge me. I wonder, don't you know? Reflect on that which was, is, and shall be. And I wonder how you would respond to a few hypotheticals, if hypotheticals indeed they are. Drink spirit wine. To me, my goblins, you may leave my presence, but you may not leave. As for me, goblins, what have we here? Among the, I wonder, don't you know? Reflect on that which was, is, and shall be. And I wonder how you would respond to a few hypotheticals, if hypotheticals indeed they are. Then let us begin. Say you meet two soldiers on a strip of beach. They impede your way, the discourteous drunks. Do you accept their orders to accompany them? Or do you stay true to your course and damn their lives? Now stand.
I would stay true to my course. So would I.
Now say you meet a starving man. He is eyeing raw fish on a merchant stall as if it were the world's greatest treasure. Do you slap his hand bent on thievery, or do you close your eyes to his lawless intent?
I would slap his hands. So would I.
And finally, say that you meet a creature in distress. A beast of burden, perhaps, wounded while protecting his mistress or master when they were assaulted by lonely bandits. Do you go to great lengths to save it, even though it doesn't concern you in the least? Or do you leave it to die and become carrion bird supper?
I would go to great lengths to save it. So would I.
You have answered me truthfully. You who have been ripped from the ages. Your words do not belie your actions. Hear the spirits speak, my goblins. It is not to be speared, this creature. It may freely dwell among your kind.
Okay, so a couple of things here. Like I said, after you start the initial dialogue with these guys, make sure you don't leave. I don't know if you can use a waypoint and then just leave that way, but I know if you just try to walk out, or if you take one of your characters and try to invis out, you'll start a battle. Now, here's what I was talking about where I think there's a bug. If you notice here, I've got my altruistic versus egotistical options there are not right anymore. So he asks actually 3 questions, and the third one I never did. My impression was that the totem would ask you questions based on the things that you've done. And the third one there was talking about a beast of burden, and that is the quest, or that is a quest that I have not done yet. So that's a little odd for one thing. But then the option there where it talks about whether or not you want to slap the hands of a fish thief, that was way back in Sicil with the thief that was going to steal the fish. And I answered that the same way that I actually did, but then when I answer that way, the totem tells me that I'm lying. So, I don't completely understand why, but I think there was a little programming error here where they just mixed the two up. So basically, if you stay true to kind of the things that you've done in the past, your trait scores will get messed up because, again, I think they swapped 2 of them. So I'm actually just not going to do this.
So would I.
Yeah, so there's the option right there. And if you remember, I did tell him not to steal the fish. And that gives you, I think, the altruistic, or I think that gives you a point in altruistic. But it shouldn't. It should be giving you a point in materialistic. So, I don't know. I think that they just, they swapped the 2 traits around on accident when they were programming the game, and they just didn't catch it. That's my take on it anyway. But you actually don't even have to interact with the totem quite yet if you don't want to, which is what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to go speak with the shaman here in a minute, but I just wanted to show you the different options here with the goblin totem, and kind of how they, I don't know, like I said, I don't think they programmed it right. I think it was a simple, really simple error. It was just that, they swapped the 2 options around, unfortunately.
So would I.
So there you go. I told him that I wouldn't slap his hands this time, and now he's going to tell me a lie, or he's going to call me a liar. But that would have been but then it gave me a point in altruistic, or sorry, materialistic instead. So again, I don't know, unfortunately, and then if you don't answer correctly, the goblins attack. And you're right in the middle of them, and obviously I'm nowhere near the level I need to be to beat these guys, so now the goblins are just slaughtering me while I chat. with my character. So all right, let's reload. But again, so like I said, I'm actually going to just skip the dialogue with the spirit totem for right now. I think there's a way to just not have a conversation with it at all, which you know, it's not going to affect much. But we'll be we'll be taking care of the spirit totem much later on in the game when we can actually fight these guys, because that's actually something that I'll probably end up doing, is wiping out the entire goblin village. Now, there are a couple of vendors though. If you notice, the goblins go to the totem and then they do, you know, something stupid, like they'll either dance or the totem tells them to die and they'll like kind of be sucked into the earth. But here I'm actually going to grab this waypoint. Just to the left here is a waypoint shrine. So there we go. And that is awesome, because now we'll be able to just, whoops, I forgot. I can't go out and get the waypoint quite yet. I need to, so like I said earlier there, you can't even invis outside town, otherwise the goblins attack you. So once you initiate that first dialogue, you have to, number one, either answer the totem's questions, and then he'll say, yeah, these people are welcome here, or you have to go find the shaman, and the shaman is hidden in a, I don't know, underground cave. So we're going to go do that right now. And then after you've spoke with the shaman, then you don't actually have to speak with the totem. So it's kind of it's kind of a tricky, nice way to get around. There we go. So there's the hidden hatch. But yeah, kind of a tricky way of not having to answer the totems and messing up your trait scores. So alright, let's grab all the stuff in this basket. What else? Okay, so there's 2 goblins up there that will randomly sell crafting items, which is amazing. I mean, it's great. It's the reason why this spot is so good is because it's right next to a waypoint. So if you're doing what I'm doing here and just trying to make money by crafting things, it can be a really good way of, or I should say, it's a great couple of merchants to have unlocked, because again, they are right next to each other and they're right next to a waypoint. So very quick way to stop in after you've leveled, or you know, every hour I think it is, the merchants restock their goods. So you can keep poking in, or keep stepping into the village, buy whatever the couple of goblins have, and then be on your way. Here's obviously an iron vein. I think you can hit the iron veins 5 times. So we'll be able to make we'll whip up some weapons with that later. And then one last thing. Oh my gosh. So eventually we will be wiping out the entire goblin village, or that's what I'm going to do. And so what you can do is actually sell things, like sell your old gear to the goblins. And then later on, when you wipe them out, they'll drop all of the gear that you sold them. So, and then you can pick it back up and sell it to a different vendor. So, crazy way to kind of multiply your wealth. So basically, every time I craft and every time I go out and do a dungeon and come back to town to sell things, I'm going to sell things in the Goblin Village. And there are, I think, 4 merchants, or maybe it's only 3, that have a decent amount of money on them. There's one merchant that barely ever has any money on him ever, so that one's not as great of an option. But yeah, that's my plan. So here I've got my trait scores still the way I want them, and we need to speak with the shaman here.
Method of ministering to my tribe. There's just nothing so special afoot here, source hunter. Believe you me. You see, not so long ago, one of our tribesmen stumbled across a mysterious red stone. We found it shiny and pleasing to the eye, so we installed it in our spirit totem. But soon it began to speak, a demon's voice. once it was, dark as night, and each of the goblins took it as the voice of the spirits made manifest. Where once they turned to their shaman for guidance, now they only have ears for that blasted totem. But I would not be so easily overlooked. I found this cave and built myself a device that would allow me to dispense guidance, as is my right, through the guise of the totem. The demon keeps his nose out of it, as long as there's enough bloodshed to go around. Though he did see fit to make an appearance when it came to questioning you. What's so special about a thick-necked pig's skin? I can't say, though. But there's no reason we can't keep this between us, friendskin. After all, better one of the tribe looking after it than a strange demon, wouldn't you say? Come now, Source Hunter. There's no need to interfere in goblin affairs. All you've got to do is climb back up that ladder and go about your business as usual.
I'm in no mood for a fight. Let this cheat carry on with his twisted little game. He doesn't seem to be doing much harm in any case.
Ah, that's the spirit, noble Source Hunter. All for the good of the tribe, of course. Goblins require the guidance of their shaman, and ever will.
Okay, so I think I decided to, what was it, let the goblin just kind of continue on with his ways, and I think that's a forgiving versus vindictive question. I think. I didn't actually catch, because my characters were standing so far away from the goblin when I answered, that I'm not sure what that choice was, but obviously it ended up being or being in line with whatever else it is that I am, kind of going for with those traits. But again, I think it's the forgiving versus vindictive trait that little dialogue triggers. So again, if that's what you want, I guess go with it. But from this point, no matter what you do, you can either kill this guy, or leave him alive. Ooh, he's got a rapture spellbook. Oh, but it's actually viable anywhere. So, all right, we don't need to worry about that. But all right, so he's kind of got a funny little setup going here. Anyway, but okay. There's one thing that I don't quite understand. He talks about a demon possessing the totem. So I don't know if he's the one always giving the commands, or if sometimes he does and sometimes he doesn't. I don't know, but it's kind of goofy. But all right, so I'm going to show you the vendors here, and I'm going to move some stuff around because these pots and stuff are really annoying, and I didn't want to. Oh, maybe I didn't do that right now. Okay. Yeah, I guess maybe I'm okay. Unlocking the waypoint finally. There we go. Got our 630 experience reward for that. But this, not this guy, this grunt isn't a vendor. He's just got garbage on him. But yeah, the guys that walk to the totem and walk back are the vendors. Oh. And here I'm not. Okay, I guess maybe I'm not gonna monkey around with them right now. Maybe I'll save that for later. But yeah, I don't know. Again, I would say there's there's two of those guys that will actually sell the crafting items that I want. Oh, maybe we are gonna go. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm all over the place.
It's heating up.
Okay. This guy right here. Yeah, this guy. This guy's one of the ones that'll sell you. Here you go. Here's what was that? Iron bar, silver ore, and then what was the other one? Iron ore, I think he had there. And then he's got a Stardust herb. I should have bought that too. I would say anytime you can, especially if you're going to be crafting any magical stuff. Actually, just in general, I would always buy Stardust herbs because you can combine those. You can smash them into Stardust powder, and then combine that with bone dust, and that'll get you pixie dust, and that's just a cheaper way to get it. Alright, so this guy doesn't usually have anything good to sell, but he does have a lot of money usually, so he makes a good vendor to sell to. And then this is your other guy that sells, obviously, a lot of crafting materials. So I always check in with him. And then this guy, oh, that guy right there, that I'm next to, he will sell, or he's usually got a lot of money as well. So he can be a good guy to sell to, along with the blue goblin over there. So again, there's actually 5 goblins that go to the totem. 2 of them are just good to sell to. 2 of them are good to buy from. And then the 5th guy is just kind of garbage because I think he's just an arrow vendor and he doesn't usually have much money on him. So I don't really find much use for him. Here there's a guy down the... I don't know if you can see him down there. You see a little waving flame.
What trickery is this?
Okay. I guess I'm... Yeah, this is Meridino's lab, so I shouldn't be in here, but I just poked my head in to show you guys this place.
This place reeks
Excuse me, but
magic.
there's a guy down in that like gorge, and you got to be careful that you don't activate his quest too early, because if you want to try to finish it, he won't live for very long. So if you accidentally activate it too early, and then wait a bunch of time in between, he'll end up dying on you.
I'd better keep my weapon at the
Okay,
ready.
so here is Meridino's lab. This is the study, and I think it's I think it's got a magical lock. So I'm gonna use my magical unlock scroll that I got from Arhu's place, just to open this up, and then I'm gonna save. So this is not gonna go well, but I wanted to show you guys this spot anyway because this is where we'll be coming, or I will be coming later on in the game to level 16. Yeah, this isn't gonna go well.
See anyone here to stop us in any...
To farm experience. This is these guys are, or there's a battle here that'll allow you to just farm over and over and over for experience. So I'll be doing that a bit later. Obviously I'm gonna get destroyed right now because these guys are level 16 and I'm level, I think, still 4, maybe 5. No, I'm 6 now. Okay, put on some levels there. Okay, yeah, I guess between the fights there and the or just outside of Silver Glen there, and probably some dialogue experience, I was able to hit 6, I guess. But anyway, so like I said, but what you want to do here for this fight, and I'm going to do a guide for this later on, but if you go in here and attack the bodies on the ground and kill them all, and then you go through, there's like kind of a back room. If you go through, boom! Awesome. Boom! Oh, Nicolita actually lived. She must have like 1 health left or something. But yeah, so you kill all these guys first, like you have to attack them on the ground, and then if you walk into the back room, that triggers another fight. And then what happens there is, and I think that's I think it's actually a bug, but there's like a wizard that pops up and he starts resurrecting his allies here. But since you've already killed them, they like resurrect as ghosts or something like that, and it lets you can kill them, and then he'll just resurrect them like every turn, and then you can just keep killing them for experience. So it's really goofy, but like I said, it's one of the places I'm going to take advantage of later for experience farming, which, to be honest, it's completely unnecessary. You don't need to. There's plenty of experience in the game, and the game is, I mean, even on tactician mode, it's easy enough to where you don't have to worry about it too much. But the enemies of Meridino have come upon us. Have they? Boom! Boom! All right, so that's that. All right, let's stay away from here. Actually, I think I am gonna loot I'm gonna loot the joint first and then call it a day. We just won't attack these guys quite yet. You do have to be careful though. There's a book on one of the bookshelves that opens up the back area, and if you walk back there, that's what will trigger the wizard to jump you. Okay. Let's get all loaded back up here, loot the joint, and make a run for it. Because that was gross.
The wizard's study, is it? I doubt he'll mind if we help ourselves to any goodies he might have left behind.
Okay, so there's a couple of books in here too. I don't know. I think eventually I looked through them, but I don't know if they are
Trash.
needed for anything or if they're just I don't know what's the word. Foreign. Yeah, I don't know. Just kind of extra, I guess. Okay, what do we got? All kinds of lab junk. Let's grab it all. Anything not bolted down is ours. Where's sheep recipe? Ah, now that's useful. I forgot that's where where it came from. Heavy rains. Oh, okay. Got something with Lucky Charm there. Devouring Greed. Okay, that sounds fun. Okay, so where's that? This is the book right here. Alright, so you gotta be careful now to not walk into the back there, because like I said, that will trigger another fight, so. Barrage, was it? Okay. Okay, got a couple vials, vial rack, and I think that's it. Alright, let's get back out of here. Skedaddle. And then I'm not going to explore much more of the cave. I think there's another battle in here somewhere. And now that yeah, alright, so yeah, we're just gonna leave, which is I think a good idea. But yeah, like I said, I think there's another battle down in there, and I didn't want to run across it after I had looted all the garbage there. But okay, that's it. So as always, hope this guide was helpful, and hope you join me for more videos. Thanks for watching.